So, we're here with Mr. Graham Taylor, OBE, obviously former England manager, and has dealt with other clubs such as Watford, Aston Villa and Lincoln City. I was wondering, what do you find, what do you feel most nostalgic about in terms of England football these days?
About English football, really, I suppose one goes back to '66 when we won the World Cup. I'd been a professional footballer 4 years then. And like many people, when we won the World Cup, I thought we were going to continue winning it. We could have won it in 1970, 4 years later. We didn't, and lost out to Germany, West Germany. And from that moment in time, I think that, you know, our record at international football, and I've been part of it as well, has been less than good. But if it's nostalgia you're talking about, it has to be the business of beating West Germany in 1966 at Wembley.
Of course. Excellent. And what do you feel is, which aspect of football do you feel is better left in the past, and what do you feel happy about moving on from?
The biggest thing is the heavy pitches that we used to have when I was a player, and teams used to get off sometimes to good starts, and they used to be saying, but wait till the heavy pitches come. The heavy pitches don't come now. That's one of the many improvements in the game. You know, you can actually play right through the season on football pitches that have grass on. That was almost impossible in the 60s, in the early 60s, because it became mud. By the time you got to October and November, they were just mud fields.
And do you feel that England supporters are as passionate as they used to be?
Well, the England supporters are passionate. There's no doubt about that. But the expectancy levels, when you think about it, you know, our success or our lack of success at international level has not been all that good. In fact, it's been very, very poor. But the England supporters you actually see travelling and following England, the scarves belong to the lower division clubs. You don't see any Manchester United scarves there, you don't see any Liverpool scarves. So there's been, you know, the clubs, certainly since the formation of the Premiership as well, the clubs tend to dominate our football as opposed to the international side.
Sure. And these days you tend to, you know, you focus a lot on the media and you embrace it a lot more than you did in the past, of course, because they have this tendency of targeting, you know, people involved in, you know, as England managers. Do you feel that you've come to accept the media, and do you think they've had a good influence on you rather than a bad?
Well, the interesting thing is that my father was a local journalist. Now people say, yeah, well, that's different from being a national journalist. It's perhaps a bit more difficult, because if you're going to criticise people in the local paper, you're likely to meet those people the next day. Whereas a national journalist can criticise who he wants and is unlikely to meet them. So my bringing up was with newspapers. At that time they were printed, and there was a smell of the printing blocks being put together. And so my experience was newspapers, football, sports with my father. So when it came to me retiring from the game, I'd already done quite a number of things when I was a manager on the media side of things. Yes, people say, how can you do that? Because of how I was treated when I was the England manager when we hadn't been successful. But life moves on, you move on. You can't stay in one place. And if you've had a setback, you have to move on from that. If you get knocked down, and I'm not talking now by vehicles, but if you fall down and you stay down, nobody helps you getting up. If you fall down and you're seen to be trying to get up, it's surprising how many people will help you. And I like to think that's probably what happened after my England experience, that I did get criticised, I did get knocked down, I did have a setback, but I didn't go abroad, I stayed in this country and resurrected my managerial career. And I think when people saw me doing that, I think there was a different approach to me than if I'd just laid down and given up.
Sure. And on a final note, how did you tell us how you ended up featuring in a Sony TV ad with Kelly Brook?
Oh dear me. Well, it was decided that there would be a former England manager's retirement home, and that would include people like Terry Venables and myself, and that we were now at an age where we had a nurse who would look after us, and it was the delightful Kelly Brook. And I have to say that I have never had a better nurse.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for that.
Thank you.